Ladies and gentlemen, we knew going into it that Jungle Cup was going to be a Vigoroth-centric meta. But that doesn't mean you can't use things that are weak against counter. So specifically what I mean is, I think rank 1 on the PvPoke ratings is Steelix and Shadow Steelix. I forget the order, but it's 1 and 2. So we're going to be showcasing a team today with Shadow Steelix in the lead, along with 2 flyers in the back. Now, in my teams to be used, or teams that I thought were the best teams, I did list a team with Mandibuzz as the safe swap, and that's what we're going to be running here today, is a Mandibuzz safe swap. I think it is one of the safer swaps in this league. Even against Shadow Steelix against Mandibuzz, you would think, oh man, a steel type versus a flying type, that's pretty bad. But Steelix only has the moveset of Psychic Fangs. Well, it can have also Breaking Swipe, but most people are running Psychic Fangs, Crunch, those two, basically. But it can have Earthquake as well, but I doubt people will be using that. But yeah, that's also going to be quite bad against Mandibuzz. So when all you're doing is Dragon Tail damage, assuming no Breaking Swipe, the matchup becomes a lot closer because Mandibuzz's sheer bulk is going to outlast that fast attack damage coming in from the Steelix. Also, Steelix with Psychic Fang is going to be able to deal enough damage to Vigoroth to really power through. But since we're also going to be running an ABB comp with our third Pokemon being Mantine, all 3 of them are pretty good against, or pretty neutral, I guess, to good against Vigoroth. Now, Vigoroth does have Rock Slide, which is going to be super effective against the 2 Mon in the back. But there is a ton of bulk on both of those Mons, so Rock Slide not going to be doing too much, especially without being the same Taka type bonus. One other thing to note is, for the same reasons Mandibuzz is okay against Steelix, Steelix is okay against Vigoroth, because the charge attacks Vigoroth have are Body Slam and Rock Slide, both of which are resisted by the Steelix itself. So again, the team we're going to be going into here is a submission, a battle submission, and it's going to be Shadow Steelix with Mantine and Mandibuzz, where Mandibuzz is the safe swap. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we have Steelix into Chargebug. Obviously, this is an insane matchup, and really something we need to keep away from our back line. They end up staying in, which makes me think that they're maybe double weak to Steelix here. You can just see how much damage the... we'll just ignore that. We'll see how much damage the Dragon Tails are actually just doing generally with the Shadow Steelix here. Yeah, again, probably we're going to end up safe swapping out of this, I imagine, into Mantine here, since I think this was a Whiscash. Yeah, Mantine's obviously insane against Whiscash. Lowering the defense, not necessarily needed. Oh, I forgot to mention also, this Mantine is running Water Pulse, which is the new move to this season given to Mantine here, and also a buffed move this season. So this is the first time I'm seeing Water Pulse being used in a general sense. I think even when I was using Mantine in Water Cup, is it Water Cup? Whatever it was. I guess everything's Water Cup nowadays. We end up throwing another move here. But yeah, even when I was using Mantine, I was using Ice. I think it's Ice Beam. But not a lot of dragons in this cup, and even if there are, they're pretty frail. So definitely able to take out the Chargebug here. Got a little low. Skarmory coming in. Now, everything is pretty neutral against Skarmory, I guess. It is taking resisted damage from the wing attacks of Mantine, but the Dark Pulses, even from Mandibuzz, are going to be fine against this. The reason we come in Steelix is we resist everything the Skarmory does. And we already know it's that Chargebug there in the back. Oh wait, did they switch out with a Whiscash? I guess I missed it, but I did see a Chargebug earlier, so I think it is the Chargebug still. Probably just going to come in with the, I was going to say the Dark Pulse, the Mandibuzz, because it doesn't have very good fast attack damage against the Chargebug, whereas at least the wing attacks are neutral. And doing a little bit of damage to the Chargebug, which is pretty low already at this point. They might be trying to catch a move here for all I know. It could be a Brave Bird. Technically, we live the Brave Bird anyways, but we have the shields. We might as well use them. Oh, it was the Whiscash being saved there in the back. We have energy enough for both moves, but really only need the Aerial Ace to take out this Whiscash. and that's going to be GG. I think even this Aerial Ace, while resisted and not a great move in general, are going to take it out. Oh, it actually lived. All right, Altaria in the lead obviously is like the best matchup possible. Sorry, turning my phone off. For this Steelix, they end up coming in with the Vigoroth here. They go for the Rock Slide. We do shield it, so this matchup kind of in the bag. Rock Slide not even going to KO. So, but it is interesting to note that you are going to be risking a bit here in this matchup because it does even have neutral counters to Mandibuzz because of that dark typing, that dark subtyping, giving it some super effective while your flying type is resisting. Okay, we go for the Aerial Ace there. Again, probably the Rock Slide not even going to KO from here, but is the Body Slam. We do now have... We might be one away from the other Aerial Ace. I think we were just slightly off from getting 2 here. They do allow it to go down. The thing is, the Steelix matchup into Altaria is just infinitely good for us. So no need to... there will be no shields needed there. The thing is, in the end, we do need to be careful possibly of the Mantine, but we're kind of hoping for a neutral matchup here, and not the greatest matchup, but we do have the Water Pulse, which is nice. This is where Ice Beam wouldn't have been as good. Ice Beam going to be neutral, whereas the Water Pulse is going to be super effective. It is the Shadow Steelix here, so good to note that it's going to take 20% more damage from this water move. They do end up shielding it, but it's going to be close. Mantine wins CMP. I am surprised. Okay, good for everyone to note there. Mantine wins CMP against maybe some Steelixes. I definitely don't know that matchup for the CMPs, or the attack values rather, and I think we could just throw a Psychic Fangs here. Okay, I like this instead of going for the farm down because the matchup in the back is just so good that we just need to get through this one good matchup, and the last thing we need to do is get our get anything reduced on our side. Yeah, we don't want to be debuffed against this thing, although it really doesn't matter. The Altaria matchup is just so dominant. All right, another Charge Bug lead. They come into Mantine. I guess maybe go for... Oh, they're going for a Crunch. I guess we'll probably come in with our own Mantine here. Okay, that makes sense because they could still have Ice Beam, and the last thing we want is to go into a matchup where they have a chance to flip switch. So good call here. I really like this one. We're just going to go for straight Aerial Aces. We can allow 2 moves to come through easily. This is probably the Aerial Ace. Oh, it is the double Ice Beam. Okay, so we can go up to 100 energy here, then throw. Yeah, so this is pretty good. They do have the Charger Bug still in the back. I guess we can go for a Water Pulse against it. We're only going to get 1 move off, so we might as well go for the bigger move. Technically, we can get 1 Wing Attack in as well before any damage registers with a Volt Switch. So that being a 2-turn move versus a 4-turn move, the moves register 1 turn before. The damage registers on fast attacks 1 turn before. So on turn 3, damage would register, but we're throwing on turn 2, so... Lag? Hello? Oh. Maybe opponent left. Let me see. Oh, our opponent left. Okay, but it was Trevenant there in the back, which Mantine apparently was going to KO, so, or would have instantly just destroyed. So very good. You don't see much Trevenant, but if you do see a Trevenant, obviously Mantine is insane against Trevenant. So, all right, Whimsicott actually is pretty rough for our team, to be honest. It has Moonblast and Grass Knot to go along with Fairy Wind Fast Attack. So Fairy Wind is a high energy generation move, so it's really just trying to use its charge moves to power through things. And Steelix going to have double resisted moves of Dragon Tail against it. And then it's going to have Grass Knot, which is neutral against Steelix. So Whimsicott could be a big core breaker for this team. I think the best matchup to have it on, obviously, is Mantine. But we're not always going to be there, and that's okay. They are low, or the switch timer is extremely in our favor. Okay, so we're going to switch out. We don't have to worry about any of these charge moves, so they end up not throwing anything, which is fine. They end up having Talon Flame, so we're kind of going to be all in on Mantine here, right? Mantine good against both of these Mon in Talonflame and Whimsicott. And then we're also going to just be doing as much damage as possible with our Steelix, since we are taking super effective Incinerates, but Steelix is decently bulky in itself, in its own right, I should say. We could come in with Mandibuzz, but our clock's a little weird, so I could see coming in with either. Coming in Mandibuzz means you want to soak the energy. Coming in Mantine means you're going to maybe try to catch later, but it's fine. I think this is probably the shielded... Okay. I think I would have shielded that move, to be honest. That was going to be the strongest move coming in no matter what. But in saying that, you probably do... I mean, you do definitely outpace this Whimsicott. You have to shield now. And the... Oh, man. How low is the Talonflame here, though? Is it just going to get KO'd from fast attacks? It did throw a Brave Bird, which means it's completely out of energy, I think. So maybe it's going to take 7 attacks to go through, but we end up KOing it in the 5 anyways, so GG there. Alright, I just showed the nameplate, so if you want to know who this trainer was, you could just stay there, I guess. I think they're at 2650 at the start of this, it looks like. Okay, Abomasnow. Abomasnow is definitely one of the Mon I didn't think we'd see a lot of in this cup, but because it is a bit RPS, especially against things like Vigoroth. But I will say we went through a coaching session this week, or yesterday I should say, and there was actually a surprising amount of Abomasnow. I think we played 17 games. I think there were like 4 Abomasnows, so that's a pretty high number considering. I think the only thing higher than that would be Vigoroths, right? The good thing about Steelix here is the worst case scenarios are taking neutral. I guess in all case scenarios, you're only taking neutral from this Abomasnow. It is going to be Energy Ball, as they only have 1 move, and it actually does quite a bit. But now look at our energy advantage here now on the Steelix. They do have a Talonflame, so we're going to throw this Crunch. Maybe we throw 1 more Dragon Tail and switch, or we just switch right away. That's fine as well. They end up throwing a move here. Okay, I like the shield this time because it could be Brave Bird and Dip. And they go back into a Vigoroth here, which is, again, a neutral matchup for all intents and purposes. I don't know what I was saying there. Now that we landed a Water Pulse, all we need is really this Aerial Ace. They try to throw on CMP. I like going for the extra energy here. Rock Slide, definitely not going to KO from here. They end up going for a bait on Body Slam. This is definitely going to be another Body Slam. So going to go for another Aerial Ace here. Again, even if they shield this, it's very possible we get to another Aerial Ace, as we do resist the counters. And now we're just 2 attacks away from this move. And we'll probably just switch to Steelix right after this, because we don't want them to farm down this Mantine, but they end up going for the no shield, and that is GG. Alright, Talonflame in the lead here. Obviously, this is not great. Okay, that's what I was talking about in the last game, though. You can go for a Dragon Tail, which is a 3-turn move against the 5-turn move of Incinerate. And again, the damage won't register till the 4th turn. So we can throw the Dragon Tail and dip, making sure that Incinerate damage goes on to our next Pokemon and giving us slight energy advantage for the Steelix. It's not anything huge, but again, when you're playing games, you want to take any sort of small advantages that you can, and hopefully balloon that into the game's advantage. They do have this Vigoroth here. Probably we're going to come in Steelix and farm this down. Again, the extra energy that this Vigoroth has, not really going to be getting put to good use as we do resist those moves. Obviously, it does some amount of damage, but we're just trying to gain some energy advantage throughout this matchup, and the thing we're most afraid of is the Talonflame in the back. So the question is, are we going to go 1 and then throw a move, which apparently we are going to do? And then another question, are we going to do 1 and dip, or are we just going to dip right away like we did last time to hopefully do the 3 wing attacks of damage before they throw a move? We do go for the CMP here, again, liking the shield against a possible Brave Bird and dip. They actually do go for the Flame Charge. It is CMP'd, though, so they're going to have to decide whether or not they want to shield to keep this Talonflame alive. I imagine what they have in the back is not good against Steelix, considering that they already have had 2 things good against Steelix. I don't know what this last Mon could be. Ends up being Abomasnow, which is a neutral matchup against this Mantine. We're definitely not in range of Weather Ball. Probably in range of 2 Weather Balls, though, and I think they will outpace. But we do want them to throw the energy into this Mantine, I think, so we'll probably just wait for that. Oh, goes for the catch. They have to throw their energy somewhere, though, and they're not going to get to 3 Weather Balls before they get farmed down, I believe, by the wing attacks here. Again, we're not in range of getting KO'd here. They need to hit us with 2. And, oh, I didn't even think about the energy ball, but that did way more than I thought. But we have the move now here for the Talonflame, which threw 2 Brave Birds, so they're out of energy here on the Talonflame. All right, Whiscash, obviously the absolute worst lead for us. We go into our safe swap of Mandibuzz. Again, we're going to try to hopefully win switch here or elongate these timers into something insane because we do want Mantine onto this Whiscash. The fact that they're not switching out makes me think that there's a Vigoroth in the back, something that's going to be decent against the Steelix of ours. So the clock is a little messed up here. They do come in with Steelix, but again, this is not the greatest matchup for Steelix. We don't have to shield anything as we resist everything as far as charge attacks are concerned. They do hit us with the debuff here. We're going to get that defense drop. But the thing is, our switch is going to be up here soon. I imagine we're going to switch into Steelix here just to remove this debuff, and we have a lot of energy there on the Mandibuzz for later. Again, the same thing with the Mandibuzz. We resist all of these. Well, I guess we technically don't resist Crunch, but we're at high HP, and we are only worried about the Whiscash, so we're not going to shield anything that this Steelix does. They do come in with the Whiscash. We throw on CMP. Well, technically they did throw before. A Mud Bomb does KO. Okay. Our switch clock is not up, and they did not switch. That is something to think about, but we're probably still going to come in with the Mantine here. If they do throw a move, don't throw anything. Otherwise, we're just going to build up for energy here going into that back matchup. Seems like they're a bit scared of the Mantine. Maybe they just want to get the drop. I'm not sure this Aerial Ace KOs, as both of these mon are very bulky, meaning the attack stat, even on Mantine, is not great. But they do end up getting taken down here, and I don't know what it was in the back. Maybe it was like Trevenant? Can't think of what it is, but yeah, okay. Coming in with a Shadow Whiscash, which I think is fantastic in this cup. They go for a Scald and Dip. I will say all the ones throwing Scald into these means that they don't have a hard counter in the back, which is always a good sign for anyone trying to win switch, especially with such a horrific matchup in the lead. Otherwise, they would have just swapped automatically if they had just a hard counter. So Sky Attack doesn't KO us, so that's something to think about, but maybe they go Brave Bird. Wow, this is really good thought process here by the opponent. We are going to get the farm down here, but this is probably just a Sky Attack. Actually, it could be Brave Bird for all I know, but yeah, and it is allowing the Skarmory to get out of this matchup as soon as possible as well, so pretty good there. They do come in with Whiscash. We throw the Crunch into it. We're probably going to dip right after into the Mantine. Hopefully with, I mean, now we've got it down to about 50%. They do have a Vigoroth here in the back going for the Water Pulse, but they do get to this move. Although it has to be a Body Slam, right? Looks like maybe they're just going for the damage into the Mantine, and they're all in on the Whiscash. They could get the Mantine into Scald Ring. Oddly enough, no. They do shield this Vigoroth. But it's weird because they're going for Body Slams. I don't know about this, but that's tough. We do go for the Water Pulse again because they are at about 70% HP, and Aerial Ace only really going to do like 40. We want it to be as low as possible for the Steelix. I guess we're saving all our shields for Steelix. They go for a greedy farm down, and we do get this Aerial Ace. Alright, they do come back in with Whiscash, but we are able to, I mean, we have 2 shields, so I guess we're going to go for Psychic Fang's farm down, and we're even going on bad timing here because we kind of just want to get the damage in, and we're hoping to get it low enough for these. Okay, I guess technically the second Psychic Fangs does more damage, but I guess it was over anyways. We had the Mantine still with a bit of HP there in the back. They do come in with Toxapex, technically as taking super effective damage from the Psychic Fangs here. And the best move they have against us is Brine, which is not the greatest move. Okay, we try to catch, but they throw on good timing so that we can't catch. Anytime you have different turn moves, it means you can stop the timing from being good anytime you want. Going for the CMP, Toxapex obviously is extremely bulky mon. The worst move it can have here against us is Sludge Wave, and I don't even know any other move sets that a Toxapex could have, so Sludge Wave being the best. Interesting shield here. They do have the Altaria coming in. The thing is, this Altaria never going to shield anything. Well, okay, it could think we have the Ice Beam, which is double super effective. Okay. I like it. Again, we go for the bait on the Ice Beam. They do not shield this time. And I imagine they're not going to shield this time again because they do know that, I assume they do know the timing of the move that we're going in with here. And now just going to let it go down. Well, going to get to another Aerial Ace. Great timing by the opponent here to throw this Sky Attack. But now we still have the Steelix into this Altaria, and we have the Mandibuzz to technically throw away into this next Mon, which we now know is Whiscash, and we're just going to lower its defense before coming in with this, and now we can decide whether or not we want to throw Dark Pulse or Aerial Ace. I'm still throwing Dark Pulse, at least with this defense debuff, it could come close to KOing. It definitely won't KO, but okay, going for the Aerial Ace, I don't know. I think I just wouldn't have risked it here. We could still have good timing here on the Dark Pulse. They end up shielding it, so it's a 50-50 call anyways, but I tend to not try to risk anything. We do get the attack debuff here, so this is going to survive now. Things are kind of just neutral though, because we did lower it to attack, and we throw on CMP here, but they catch. Opponent is playing very well. The only thing is we had such a good lead here to go into this, and they could throw energy into the Steelix, and then they would end up in a bad situation, down energy against the Mandibuzz, which is just going to KO it with shields down. Our opponent goes for extra Dragon Tails. I think they're going to try to bait us on an Earthquake. Okay, I guess we go Psychic Fangs into our own Mantine here. We saw kind of this type of thing earlier. Kind of weird for our opponent to go for, I guess, energy in the Steelix matchup. I'm wondering if this is going to be a mirror match. All right. Well, this is going to get close to KOing. Oh, not even close, actually. But we'll probably go for the farm down from here. Not going to be too worried about any moves. It does seem like our opponent also does have Water Pulse. So I think we live in Aerial Ace here. It is close, though. The question is, can we even get a Water Pulse into the Steelix, though? It ends up being a Pelipper. So another double flyer, which is interesting. We have to let it take us out so that we can maintain... Well, do we even need a maintain switch? I guess not. But we don't want this into Steelix, into our Steelix, because it does have Weather Ball Water. And it's going to be throwing that move into our Mantine anyway, into our... They threw Hurricane. Okay. That is so risky. But I guess we're holding our shields for our own Steelix. This thing is pretty frail. Just trying to get moves off. Good catch by opponents. Man, our opponent... I think this guy ends up being 1720. So, obviously this is a high-level match. But our last two opponents have been really good on the catches here. We do throw this move. We do get defense debuffs, so we're probably switching after this. Our opponent does have Crunch. They have shown that last move. Okay, you probably just take it because you don't want to get hit by the Weather Balls, which are super effective, whereas this is just a neutral move. I don't know if you can farm down from here, though. So we do throw the Psychic Fangs. This is going to KO even though it is resisted. Obviously, their Steelix is very low. And now we're just going to try to do infinite damage to this Pelipper. We have two shields, so we're going to use them. The question is, do we throw Psychic Fangs into them? Looks like not. So we're just going to go for the full fast attack down. While Pelipper gets to its moves really fast, it is frail, so now it's just a race against the clock, and they do get this last move off to KO this. But Mandibuzz has a lot of HP, a decent amount of HP left, and is going to probably be able to farm this down with Snarls. Salazzle, I think is the name of that mon. It's probably decent, but it's very frail. it has Incinerate, Poison Fang, and Dragon Pulse, I believe. I can't believe I even know that moveset. If you guys are running Salazzle and you're still here watching this video, let me know if it's good. And if someone has it, definitely send me those battles. I would love to showcase Salazzle. That's a weird one. All right, back into this game. I did see someone running Gengar in one of the coach games, so that's another just weird one. Ooh, I also saw another spicy pick, but I might not say it. We're looking into it. Let's just say that. All right, they do come back in with Salazzle. It is super frail, so any move hitting it is going to be doing a ton of damage. So I guess even though it has fire moves, what can it really do against Steelix? I'm not too sure. We do get an energy advantage because we started in here before them, but they do outpace us if they have Weather Ball. If they have Icy Wind, maybe we'll be looking to switch at some point. Probably worth throwing in one more Aerial Ace. If they do have Icy Wind, they will not outpace us. It is more expensive to get to those Icy Winds than the Weather Balls. But we shouldn't be too afraid of this next move. Although they are at Energy Ball range. Probably... Oh, wow. Well, now they're so low, we just go for another Aerial Ace. Good call here by our battle submitter. Alright, Salazzle in the back, and this Salazzle did nothing. But, well, what is it good against? So it's really good against Vigoroth, right? Yeah, if you guys are running this Mon, definitely submit it. I would love to see Salazzle in this cup. We end up on a 5-0. They started at 2650. I think they're going to get to 2720-ish, if I was to guess. So, yeah, just to show you that these are some pretty high-level games. And, yeah, if you are hoping to run a team, this is a pretty good team. Again, I haven't actually... Fridays are actually really tough for me to do battles, which is why you don't see a video early in the morning on Fridays, or Saturdays, I should say. But we'll be putting out some videos this weekend for sure about Jungle Cup. Not sure how much Ultra League will show. I do want to play my Annihilate team some more. I thought that was really fun the first time around. What else is there to say? Yeah, you can try this team out. Again, I forgot if I said it. I'm going to be trying that first team out that I showed in the team, Best Teams Jungle Cup. So if you want to see that, check out the video at the end of this. At the end of this video, on the right side, it'll show the Best Teams video, and you can click on that to check out those teams. Again, thank you for supporting me in the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel if you like the video and if you want to see more. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.